The Tragic Lesson of Catherine Howard. She was barely more than a child when the crown found her. Catherine Howard, young, radiant, and full of laughter, stepped into Henry VIII's palace like a spark in a cold, dying fire. After years of loss and grief, the king's heart was empty. But Catherine's smile, her innocence, her youth, they made him feel alive again. The court whispered, "She's the rose reborn." But roses in the Tudor court didn't bloom for long. Catherine came from a broken past, one filled with neglect, mistakes, and men who used her before she ever understood what love truly meant. But when Henry made her Queen of England, she believed, truly believed, that she'd been given a second chance. A chance to prove she was more than the girl people whispered about. For a moment, she lived that dream. She danced, she laughed, she wore jewels that shimmered like her future. But behind those castle walls, secrets have a way of crawling into the light. When word reached Henry that his young queen had once loved another, and may have loved again, his heart turned to ice. Betrayal was something he could not forgive, especially when it came wrapped in youth and beauty. And so, at just 19 years old, Catherine Howard, once adored as England's rose without thorns, was dragged to the Tower of London. The same walls that had once echoed with the laughter of queens now held only silence. On February 13th, 1542, she faced the blade. Witnesses said she looked terrified, trembling, but she found enough courage to say, "I die a queen, but I would rather have been a good woman." Those words, they cut deeper than the axe ever could. Because Catherine's story isn't just about tragedy. It's about how innocence can be destroyed when people are used, judged, and never truly forgiven for their past. It's about how a young woman's worth was defined by mistakes she made before she was even grown. Her life reminds us that grace is not something to be given only to the powerful, but to those who have fallen the hardest. In a world that still loves to judge women for their past, Catherine's story echoes through time, that no matter what you've done, your worth isn't lost, that every person deserves a chance to rise, not to be defined by who they once were, but by who they choose to become. And maybe, if history had been kinder, Catherine Howard's laughter would have filled the halls of Hampton Court a little longer. But instead, her voice became a whisper carried through centuries, a reminder that power without mercy is just another form of cruelty. Moral: don't let the world define your value by your past. Learn, grow, forgive, and never stop believing in your second chance.